Buenas a todos, chavales. Un viernes más con el Star Citizen Live. Pues vamos a ver qué tal se da. El título de hoy pues es desarrollo, ¿no? Y pone Dressing the Scene. Significa vistiendo la escena. Lo que nos enseñarán pues cómo trabajan con los escenarios y demás. Cómo lo rellenan de contenido. Dentro vídeo.
Just leave us live. Just leave our mics up. Let's just start the show. Let's light this candle.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Yep, we're going live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Star Citizen Live, Dressing the Scene. I'm your host this week, Associate Creative Producer for Subscriptions, Jared Huckabee. I stopped saying my title at the beginning of the shows because I couldn't remember it all because it was so long, and I messed up my title last week too, after making fun of Ben Parr. I made fun of Ben Parr when he was on the show a couple weeks ago because he forgot his title, and then like 2 weeks later I messed up my title, and then I barely got past it this week, so we're just going to stop doing that.
Está comentando de que va a dejar de decir el título que tiene a la hora de presentarse porque ya se empieza a olvidar y que de hecho la otra ocasión se mofó de un compañero porque se había olvidado y que ahora le está pasando a él.
Hi.
What is it though?
It's Associate Creative Producer of Subscriptions now. It's like the fourth one.
That's a big title, man.
Nah, it's fine. It's too much.
It's not about the size of the title. It's how you use it. All right, joining us on the show this week, we've got members from our environment, art, and props teams. We've got Luan and Corey. How you doing, guys?
Good.
Great, thanks, man.
Yeah, you? You all right?
I'm doing all right. It's pretty early in the morning. I was looking through this wonderful air traffic controller book for the Stanton system that one of our backers gave us. They actually made a let me see if I can do it there. They made a real ATC book for every potential land.
Vale, está diciendo que uno de los backers, bueno, aparte que está presentando al equipo de entornos y tal, ha dicho que uno de los backers le ha regalado, o sea, le han enviado un libro con un manual de control aéreo, control de tráfico aéreo, con todos los detalles de Stanton. La gente es la hostia, tío.
Landing area in
Holy-
the Stanton system right now. Like
Wow.
every single waypoint. I mean, it is ridiculous. It's even got.
Y es
some,
que es
like,
ridículo la
fold
cantidad
out, fold
de
out
detalles que tiene. Y que
bits.
incluso tiene un desplegable
Fold out
de
bits.
Levski.
So,
It's awesome.
That's lovely.
No, de Levski
Yeah.
no, del Orville.
see, JJ's
Awesome.
yelling right now because I didn't tell him I was going to do this. It wasn't planned. It was just my hand. So, all right, I'm done, JJ. You can put the camera back the way it's supposed to be. All right, so Luan, Corey,
Hello.
which one of you is from the environment team? Which one of you is from the props team?
I'm from the environment team.
Yeah, I'm from the props team.
All right, and what do you do for the environment team, Luan?
Well, it's the environment team is responsible for quite a lot of things. We dress scenes, we white box, gray box, and put everything to final art in terms of the landing zones, the modular locations, make textures, mix assets.
Está un poco tratando de escribir lo que hacen en su curro, en el entorno. Se dice que, bueno, pues que hacen bastantes cosas, desde pasar por las diferentes fases de White Box, Grey Box y Final Art, de las zonas de aterrizaje y de los escenarios, vestir los escenarios.
All kinds of stuff, really. But usually, if it's a location in the game that you're going to walk around that is not a ship, it's probably done by the environment team.
All right,
Claro, dice que,
and Corey, what do you do?
dice
for
que
the
si vemos una localización que no tiene nada que ver con una nave, que probablemente está hecho por el equipo de entorno.
props team?
What do you do?
I have this description of the props team that really annoys Luan.
Yeah?
So I'm
What
just
is it
going to
that you
use
do,
that.
Corey?
So the props team, we basically make if you can't fly it, it's not alive, and it's not like a level, and it's not bolted down. That's kind of what we make. But then Luan says to me, he's like, "Well, what about space stations? They're not bolted down. You don't make space stations, do you?" So
True.
yeah, no, we make everything from small props like glasses, tables.
You're also
you
assuming that every single thing we do is bolted to something.
know. Yeah.
That is often not the case.
Yeah.
That's often not the case.
So yeah, we make that kind of small stuff, like small dressing stuff. We also make some slightly larger scale stuff. We do the ship items. We do some larger things like the downed relays, satellites, that kind of stuff.
And when people ask me, I like to tell them that
Vale, está diciendo que el compañero suyo, que es el de Props Team, el equipo de Props, dice que han hecho pues desde mesas, cristales, pequeñas cosas, pero también han hecho algunas cosas, incluso han llegado a hacer algún satélite. Imagino que se referirá a los satélites destruidos que hay por ahí, ¿no? Se dedican como a hacer así, dicho lo bruto, como mobiliario o piezas de cosas, ¿no?
The props team makes things feel alive and lived in.
Yeah, we definitely try to do that. I think the props can contribute a lot towards making stuff feel a lot more sort of lived in, tell a bit of a story.
Yeah. So on this week's
Que
show,
dice Lando, ¿no? Que su equipo se dedica, de props, se dedica a hacer que las cosas pues tengan como vida, ¿no? Que te dé esa inmersión.
this is one of our Gamedev specials where we take a look inside the process of people's actual work. We'll take some questions along the way and stuff, but this is more about showcasing the process of in this case, two of our team's works. What are we doing today? I mean,
Okay.
I know, but tell
Do
them.
you?
Tell them.
We also
Que nos
know.
cuenten qué estamos
Oh, did
haciendo a
you
día de
tell
hoy, ¿no?
Luan definitely knows.
Fine. So we thought it'd be quite interesting to take one of the back alleyways, one of the more boring ones from Area 18, and just dress it up as a crime scene.
Yeah, like we thought it'd be cool to kind of try and tell a bit of a story with the dressing, give you an idea of how we can use all the tools at our disposals as artists to kind of tell a story through the environment, or so we figured like a crime scene would be kind of cool to do that.
No,
And if we
dice,
do a good enough job, maybe we'll
dice que
send-
una de las cosas que han hecho es una escena de crimen y que bueno, que tratan de mediante el entorno, tratar de transferir una... Ostras, ¿no tenéis imagen? No fastidies. Bueno, que tratan de transferir... Confirmármelo, por favor. Porque si no tenemos imagen... Mal asunto, ¿no? Ok. Pues como estaba diciendo... Gracias, chicos. Como está diciendo que han montado una escena de crimen para tratar de poner a prueba las habilidades que tiene el equipo, para tratar de, con el entorno, transmitir una historia, ¿no? Que es lo que tratan de hacer, ¿no? Que el entorno te cuente cosas.
send it to Ian and see what he says.
Yeah, he's just back there. We'll ask him.
I'd be very curious to see what Ian says out of the homunculus creation that we're going to make here with the community.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great fun.
All right, so let's just jump into it. Well, you got everything set up?
Yep,
we're all
here we
good.
are.
Yeah,
So
here we go.
yep, we're just in Area 18 right now,
Yep.
just in the
Nice
center.
time.
So I think
18.
we'll fly around, see if we find an alleyway that's quite nice. So this is the level where the central Area 18 is actually built. So it's aside from the planet or a lot of like the bars and things like that. So if we just go through here, this street.
Yeah, so you can see already there's quite a lot of dressing going on throughout this scene, but we'll just try and find like a little nook or a little back alley that we can.
I'll go this way.
Yeah.
Están
Alright.
buscando un lugar para hacer la escena del
This is
crimen,
the
¿no?
one.
Nothing here. Look at
Yeah.
that. So boring.
That's
Quite-
pretty dull right there.
Quite drab. I
De
mean,
que
the
no
pink
se ve
light
nada
is
y que es muy
really-
aburrido
so
lo que
it
hay
gives
ahí,
us
que-
a kind of a good sort of start, kind of
Parece que van a seleccionar
Fairly
esa
solid.
ubicación.
yeah, noir
Right.
lighting.
So I thought it'd be nice to break it down, sort of how we go on about constructing these. I'm gonna switch to the other editor over here. So these are constructed in these little prefabs that they're basically just like pieced together like Lego. So I think the game developers say a lot like Lego, isn't it?
Like Lego,
Almost
yeah.
everything's
It's like Lego.
piece
It's basically games.
Bueno, nos está comentando que estos son como piezas que tienen prefabricadas y que se construyen rollo Lego, ¿no? Y dice que muchas veces los desarrolladores dicen como Lego, que es una forma de hablar bastante común entre los desarrolladores.
They're just Lego, essentially.
Yeah, and so you have all kinds of things like T-junctions, like straight corridors, and all kind. Literally you can make a whole street out of it if you want, and then just piece them together in the editor after we have a layout that we like.
Lo que estamos viendo aquí son partes de las calles, ¿no? Estamos viendo pues pasillos, esquinas, movidas, ¿no? Esto con esto que tienen aquí montado podrían montar perfectamente una calle entera.
That we've whiteboxed with design, and then we just change everything in here, and we send it to the other one, and it updates live.
Gotcha. So what we're looking at on the other screen are basically the object container prefabs that that are assembled to make up any section of ArtCorp.
Correct.
Sí,
yeah.
que aquí lo que estamos
These
viendo
are
es
like the alleyway
las piezas
corridors,
para
sort
hacer
of.
cualquier
Basically,
sección de
a lot
ArtCorp.
of this stuff here is made with some of these alleyways, like these corners and such, and then dressed either in here and lit in here, or some of them have a little bit of dressing already in this here. So if I go to this straight one, you can have like a little bit of garbage and
People in the chat are already saying that
Ya está diciendo que hay algunas de las escenas que nos han mostrado, como aquella que tiene el contenedor de basura, que ya tienen algo de vestimenta, ¿no? De revestimiento, vamos a llamarle revestimiento cuando dicen dressing, ¿vale? Porque es más normal. Pues que ya están algo revestidas, ¿no? Algunos
The
módulos.
scene that we should dress is dark. The murder. A drug trade gone wrong. Somebody's
Yeah.
suggesting you guys are dark.
Yeah, that's what we wanted. Because I mean,
Lo que están haciendo aquí es tratar de construir, mediante los comentarios que hacen los backers en el directo, tratar de construir la escena. Y están poniendo ideas como hacer rollo de que algún tema de drogas ha salido mal o cosas por el estilo. Está diciendo Lando que la peña que es muy oscura.
it's sort of, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, we want it as gritty as possible, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta tell that story.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
put some lights in here probably though, just to.
We'll make it pretty.
Yeah, we'll just kind of show you what lighting.
We'll
can
make
do
it a
in certain
happy murder.
situations. Yeah,
Right.
a very positive murder.
All right, so where do we
Haremos
start?
un asesinato positivo, un
Hey,
asesinato
I
feliz.
thought it'd be nice to start sort of just with the architectural stuff, right? So these corridors are set up in a way that they connect to each other. So you have like these pipes running along, which always connect to one another. And here we have this T-junction. So you come in from here and it can go either way. And I thought like these walls are quite boring and maybe even a bit dirty. I thought we could swap to some other stuff.
You're in a special view here. This isn't what the asset normally looks like.
Yeah, so we're in the albedo view, which basically only shows us the color of the asset with like no lighting information. The reason for that is because since things are lit in this level it looks like this, which is not
Yeah,
ideal.
Exactly.
it's a little
Not
bit
ideal
easier
for
to
seeing
see
what you're
what
working
you're
with.
doing. You just turn the lighting
Yeah,
off.
but since
basically.
we're just swapping some assets over here and exporting that stuff out, I thought, this would be fine.
Están comentando un poco, ¿no? De que aquí lo vemos sin luces y tal, y que acaba de pulsar un botón, diciendo que al pulsar ese botón como que pone la iluminación del nivel que estaban viendo antes. Entonces, pues de esa manera pues pueden iluminar como quieran, no tienen pues eso, diferentes formas predefinidas que van haciendo.
It's more important to see what you have to work with here.
So I'm gonna look around these, see if I can find a wall that I like.
Está buscando una pared que le mole.
I like that little unit up there. The
Which one?
this guy here.
And of course, for you all watching, wherever you're watching, you can submit questions live in chat by prefacing your question with the word question in capital letters surrounded by
Lo
brackets.
típico, que pongáis las preguntas
we'll
en el
pull
chat,
a few
¿no?
of
En
them
el
during the
directo,
show
de con question y
and pose
tal.
them to Corey
Que
and
un día
Luan and
Delete.
see if
un día tenemos que mirar a ver de lo que están haciendo, ¿vale? Y si queréis, pues podemos mirar a hacer preguntas en directo. Lo que pasa es que eso va a ser un poco complicado. Entonces, habría que tratar de como mirar del tema que van a tratar y que me digáis más o menos algunas cosillas, hacerlo, pues, yo qué sé, un día antes o algo así, y mirar las preguntas que podemos sacar, porque las preguntas que le he hecho hasta ahora a ellos, no todas me las han respondido, pero sí unas cuantas.
they can work and answer questions at the same time.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely. Well, if I'm working, then Corey can answer questions.
Yeah, Luan's driving right now. We have two mice, but I don't have a keyboard, so Luan's the one driving at the moment.
Yeah. So what I'm doing right now is I'm basically on my other screen. I'll pull it over a little bit. I've got this, and this tells us all of the properties of the asset that we're looking at. So all I'm doing is I'm finding assets I like, and I'm copying their name, and then copying the asset over here and just placing it in.
So
Vale, dice que lo que está viendo aquí, bueno, que por una parte tiene lo que es la pieza y aquí tiene los recursos, ¿no? Entonces dice que si hay un recurso que le mole del otro lado, simplemente lo tiene que copiar y pegar, que ya se lo pondría directamente al otro objeto.
you're basically on an asset buffet right now.
Al otro muro.
Yeah,
Ahí ves,
essentially, I'm just
estáis
looking
viendo cómo
around
hace la
seeing what I
copia, ¿no? Que
Yeah,
ya lo tiene todo hecho.
Unfortunately, we don't have the ability to show both monitors at the same time, so you're only seeing half the picture.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff we're doing on the other screen is not particularly interesting. It's mostly just searching through folders.
Yeah, it's really quite boring.
Yeah, finding the assets we like.
We have quite a few assets to search through.
Oh, geez.
There are so many. There's just so many, and I think it's probably easier if we just look within the scene for the time being, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably get into the meat of
Están comentando, ¿no? De que ahora mismo tienen dos pantallas, que tienen dos ratones, pero solo tienen un teclado. Y comenta Discolando que es una pena que no se puede enseñar la pantalla secundaria. Lo que le contestan que la pantalla secundaria realmente solo tiene un listado de carpetas con los diferentes recursos que hay. Y que es mucho, y que con la cantidad que hay, que es una barbaridad, que es mucho más cómodo para todos que simplemente nos centremos en los recursos que vemos en la escena, que son más que suficientes.
things a little bit more when we're actually placing the props and the dressing and some more environmental stuff, lighting and so on, we can start actually really kind of breaking into the library we have and finding stuff that really helps tell the story.
Set this in a little bit.
Tourist Galactic asks a question. It's not necessarily for this team, Tourist, but I want to address it so that people know what type of questions we're taking. He asks, will it be possible to add a special event piece to a street? I'm assuming you mean like an area where there's a timed event on a specific street where something changes based on the time of day or when somebody walks through and stuff. That's usually in the purview of system designers and game designers and level designers, as opposed to the artists who decorate the scene. So we don't have the people on the show to answer that type of questions, but as far as functionality and event design and stuff like that. But I do like the question. The answer is yes, though.
Está comentando un hacker, ¿no? De si habría la posibilidad de que uno de estos bloques no dependiera de algún fuera evento, ¿no? Que fuera algún tipo de evento, en plan dependiendo pues de la zona horaria o de la hora o de que sea de día y de noche y que vaya cambiando, ¿no? Que si hay la posibilidad de hacer algo que cambie de esa manera. Lo que le está contestando Discolando es que ahora mismo está la gente que se dedica al arte, ¿no? Realmente, que no es la gente que se dedica a desarrollar y que eso pertenece a otras personas que ahora mismo no están y no pueden contestar, aunque le gusta la pregunta.
That would be very cool if we can have certain things that maybe a crime that can happen at certain times, or
we do we have triggers, things that happen when people enter triggerable areas and stuff like that. So
I suppose that would probably more come under.
Vale, acaba de decir Discolando, bueno, acaban de decir los chavales del entorno que dice que estaría de puta madre, ¿no? Que sería genial el poder tener eventos de que ocurran crímenes a ciertas horas o que pase algo en determinados momentos. Y Discolando había dicho, o sea, ha dicho ahora mismo que sí que tienen cosas que se activan. Vaya leak que ha metido, pero bueno. Cosas que se activan cuando los jugadores entran en una escena o algo, ¿no? Eso sucede así. A ver qué pasa.
The AI behavior and routine as well.
Daily murders.
Yeah, your daily
murder.
murder. Some guy at 6 a.m. every day he gets up, goes to a specific place.
It's just Groundhog Day. It's the guy with the worst.
Están hablando de que
Right, so
están hablando ahora de que todos los días que pasaré, que a las 6 de la tarde pues hubiera un asesino que se dedicara a matar de día y que a las 6 de la tarde pues ese pavo siempre se cargase a alguien, ¿no? En una zona.
Going through all the different prefabs, grabbing little parts that you like from our buffet here, and you're basically constructing a new object container.
Essentially, yeah. So I'm finding literally anything that I think is quite interesting and just adding it in there. Now, there's quite a lot we can do with this, right? We can make it look however we want to, but we don't want to overdo it. So I think I'm just going to go with this for now.
This is just the sort of outer shell of what we're going to do today.
Okay. So let's see the one that we're bringing in first before we bring it in. We've been decorating it. Okay. So what did we do? You added some kind of like radiator grills to the back.
Yeah. So I added some some structural things.
Parece que simplemente están añadiendo
added a bit
cositas,
more
¿no?
depth to this wall because before it was just
Para
a flat
añadir más
wall, so I added
profundidad al
a couple
muro y
things to
demás.
imply that there's some mechanicals behind there, and then just a little bit of this grading at the top, just to make it like there's possibly like another deck on top.
We could probably put a light above it as well, so you get some cool lighting effects.
So basically now I just export that. I'll actually show this. Why not? Let's show the process.
Yeah. So these colored tabs you see here, those are all the layers that make up the level, the game level. Yep. And basically this corridor piece is in a certain set of folders, you could call them, or layers. And we're basically saying, take everything that's in these layers, export them out as an object container, and then we can stream that object container into a different level. So it's a bit kind of like Russian dolls.
Yeah. Now if I jump into the other level.
Estaba comentando que esto nos ha enseñado aquí, voy a volver porque es importante. Esto que nos está enseñando aquí dice que digamos que esto, antes de pasarlo al Object Container, ¿vale? que está dividido en niveles. El Object Container sí, ¿no? Está dividido en capas, como una foto o como movidas que hacen, ¿no? Entonces que a la hora de streamear, de hacer el trabajo, el Object Container Streaming, pues se van seleccionando partes, ¿no? Que aparecen y partes que no. Entonces que es interesante, aparte que bueno, que pueden copiar y pegar lo que quieran de aquí también, ¿no?
And basically this corridor piece is in a certain set of folders. You could
Está
call them,
como,
or
como
layers.
subdividido.
And we're basically saying, take everything that's in these layers, export them out as an object container, and then we can stream that object container into a different level. So it's a bit
Eso,
kind of like
ellos lo que
Russian
hacen,
dolls.
Yeah.
lo que hacen es efectivamente como ha dicho, como las es parecido a las muñecas rusas, ¿no? Estas que se meten unas dentro de otras, ya sabéis. Y el tema está en que dice que pues es como cuando trabajas en Photoshop, que seguro que es algo que conocéis. Tú primero empiezas a hacer las capas, empiezas a hacer las imágenes y luego pues exportas a JPG, a PNG, a lo que te dé la gana. En este caso exportan al Object Container Streaming. Bueno, Object Container.
Now,
en
if I
ese
jump
caso.
into the other level, you can see how it looked like. And if I grab that prefab and I reload it, I should yeah, bring some of that stuff in there.
There you go.
Oh no, I've made a mistake. I have a pipe crashing through that.
Yeah.
We'll fix it in post.
Vale, dice
Yeah, we
que,
can fix that.
que tienen un fallo y
So,
que hay
yeah,
una
I guess,
tubería
I mean,
que
sort
choca
of-
aquí en esta
you
zona.
can see how quickly it is to
Lo
make
arreglan ahora.
variations and iterate on this kind of stuff for the environment guys. So they can really kind of push this, especially if we, take more procedural approaches in some instances like the truck stops to these kind of variations. It
Yeah.
can be really nice and quick to generate this sort of variation. So you can imagine having a space as large as Area 18. Once you have the set of assets created, it is sort of like Lego in the sense that you can just kind of drag stuff in and really
Yeah.
push it in that sense.
As you can see, we've got it here. When it disappears,
Claro, están hablando del tema de hacer esto procedural. Es decir, una vez que ya tienen montado todo lo que es el asunto de Area 18, o sea, de Arcor, pues ya, como ya tienen todo eso creado, pueden hacer el tema de que sea procedural también, pues que tenga diferentes variables. Ya hemos visto cómo hacían con las cuevas y demás. Pues que lo que una vez hecho esto, lo que tiene sentido es que empujen en esa dirección, ¿no? Es lo que está comentando. Para el resto de
that's because of,
estaciones y demás.
something we call viz areas, which essentially contains the objects in a volume. And what that does is we put portals when this viz area intersects, or rather connects to another, so that it saves on performance, because if you look away from the portal, it basically toggles everything that's inside off, so that you're not loaded that in all the time.
Same with doors as well. If the door's closed, there's no point in rendering everything behind that door.
Folks who have played Star Citizen.
Claro, está diciendo una cosa que hace como una especie de que llaman ellos portales, que lo que hace básicamente es que ahora vemos esto así, pero que cuando el tío gira la cámara, lo que hace es que todo lo que es el revestimiento deja de cargarse. Entonces como, pues eso, dice que no tendría sentido, ¿no? Si la puerta está cerrada, ¿para qué quieres cargar lo que hay detrás? Y así es como están trabajando para mejorar el rendimiento y demás, claro.
Citizen for a while are very familiar with the effect of viz areas, even if they don't know what they were. When you sometimes are in a ship and you open a door, and on the other side of the door there's just black empty space, and then you walk through and everything is suddenly there. That's a viz area culling that's not properly set. When you open, it's supposed to reveal, and when it closes, it's supposed to cut that stuff off so it doesn't draw anymore. And sometimes a very common bug is when the door's open and it doesn't turn off that viz area or turn on the viz area, depending on how you've set it up. And that's what that is. So I think
You have to
many
take a leap.
Claro, dice que unas cosas que, bueno, vosotros habéis visto, supongo que si habéis jugado habréis abierto algún ascensor, algún elevador y habréis visto el hueco pues que está negro o que te vas a la mierda, ¿no? Entonces, lo que está comentando aquí es lo que ya he comentado yo bastantes veces, ¿no? El tema de que a veces tienen problemas porque no está bien hecho lo del tema de que cargue y no cargue las cosas, ¿no? Que cuando tú abres una puerta, cuando se abre la puerta, pues que debería de cargarse el contenido. Y a veces pasa que tú abres la puerta y ves todo negro y cuando entras, de repente se carga, que eso como que está mal ajustado y que da tiempo. Pero la idea es que cuando tú abras la puerta ya vayas viendo las cosas y cuando se cierre, pues que dejes de ver todo lo que hay dentro.
With faith, don't you, in those
Now,
situations?
the grating that you put atop, is that up there? Tilt up?
Yeah, it's right
Yeah,
here. We
there
got
it
it right
is.
here.
So it's up there.
So one thing about these viz areas is a lot of the environments we make, we have to make with them in mind, obviously, because we want to make it something that runs pretty well. So if we're designing the interior of a building or something like that, we have to make sure that we make it with these viz areas like nicely, tightly made, and no weird angles that you can see things through, that you see like hundreds of assets right through a straight line, because that would cause your frame rate to go way down. So we got to be quite aggressive with our culling sometimes, but That's just the
Yeah.
nature of game development.
And
really.
it's also, I mean, in
Claro, dice que muchas veces tienen que ser muy agresivos con las decisiones que toman a la hora de las aristas o los posibles huecos que hayan o las esquinas. Y tener cuidado, porque en el caso de que por aquí, por ejemplo, a través de esta esquina seamos capaces de ver lo que hay en esta zona de aquí, pues lo que haría es que tendríamos un serio problema de caída de FPS, porque nos estaría cargando el contenido al poder verlo, ¿no? Entonces que son bastante agresivos a la hora de cerrar esos huecos y esas historias.
a lot of earlier games where they would kind of try and disguise loading screens with, I guess you'd call it like a visual bottleneck. So you go through like a cave entrance or something. I guess it's a sort of similar thing in a sense. You're
You can swap
trying
these
to,
out.
in certain areas where you have a lot of assets, you're trying to kind of limit the, I guess, the distance in which players can see. So you kind of think about when you're actually creating the scene, you have to take that into consideration as well.
Oh, and you just swapped out the back one while you were talking.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what I've done here, basically, I know that we have some caps that we can use.
Vale, dice, una de las consideraciones que tiene que tener a la hora de montar la escena es a la distancia a la que se pueden ver las cosas, ¿no? Que tratar de tener eso en cuenta. Vemos cómo está marcando lo que es la profundidad de la habitación.
That they just cap out the corridors, right? And I thought, whilst Corey just described that, I could swap one out just so you can have a look. This is one of the pre-made ones. I think this is the one that's actually in there currently.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's the one that's in game.
That's probably why the light already corresponds. But yeah, so you can see I basically just swapped it out. Oh, wrong one. I just swapped it out, and there it is.
Mhm.
We'll do something else with this one later.
Yeah.
Right, but
Claro,
so now
habéis visto como que tienen el módulo este, que sería el módulo este, que es el módulo que han enseñado antes. Esto como que sí, que cuando lo echa para atrás que se deja de ver, ¿no? Como mostrando cómo trabaja lo que es el container.
basically that we have it in there. I thought it'd be nice to go into the process of like how these props that dress the scene come to be. So when we're making a scene like this, or an environment, or a new landing zone, we're thinking ahead into like what kinds of props do we need? Do we need benches? Do we need bar tables? I'll use the bar here as an example. You know, are we going to need lamps, glasses? You know, these A-frames, and we try to make up a whole list of things that we might need, even if it's like way overboard. And we go through them, see the most important ones, tier them in ways that like, oh, it would be nice to have this, but it's okay if we don't have it, and we send it off to the prop team to sort of start.
Está comentando que a la hora de realizar una escena, lo que hacen es primero hacer una lista de todas las cosas que organizan, pues, o sea, que necesitarían, ¿no? Como desde lámparas, mesas, pues estas barandillas de aquí, rendijas, lo que sea, ¿no? Entonces luego, una vez tienen todos estos recursos en una lista, lo que hacen es organizarlos por tiers de prioridad. Entonces lo que miran es, bueno, pues quizás, o sea, estaría bien tener esto, pero realmente es necesario, o podemos relegarlo a un segundo tier, ¿no? Y ver si es necesario realmente o lo podemos obviar.
Start making them. So sometimes we white box some of those and put them in the level already, just so they have a kind of a volume to
placeholder.
work from, placeholder, and then sometimes they do it and bring it back. But you know, everything has to be within this consistent art style. So in this case, this very utilitarian art style for our corp is you know, something that we can just go, oh, make us a fancy glass.
Yeah.
And they'll just make us like something that just doesn't really fit in with the style. So all of this has to be made with the same style in mind.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing is working closely with the art directors for the environment team and also concept. You know, the props team very much sort of delivers assets for different departments. There's certain assets that we kind of make because we feel they're important, but a lot of the time we sort of are a service to other departments in terms of which you know, they dictate which assets they need us to create for them.
Claro, está diciendo de que realmente a la hora de crear las cosas, como que la creatividad en parte se ve limitada porque ellos como que se dejan llevar por las órdenes de otros equipos que le piden cosas, que le piden ellos recursos, ¿no? Artistas que le piden cosas en plan, quiero esto o quiero aquello. Y que, bueno, que una vez tienen toda la lista de componentes que necesitan para hacer una escena, es cuando hablan con el prop team para que se las fabrique basándose pues en las cosas que les va diciendo la gente de arte.
So the environment
O de
obviously
otro
informs a
equipo.
lot of, you know, as to what goes in it. So you have an alleyway like this, there's going to be certain assets you need to make that alleyway believable that would fall under the props umbrella.
can
like
see-
bins and stuff.
I can see the one playing with lighting now.
Yeah, so I've decided, even though there's no current light fixture, but we'll solve that later, to just basically light the scene a little bit. Now we'll put in like a sort of lighting pass that's kind of implies what we want to do with the scene, and then the lighting team will come in afterwards and actually do something proper. In this case, what we did for something like this is we just added some nice lights here, and kind of went, oh, this is kind of more of like a neon thing, and made it a little bit like darker. And then the lighting team actually came in and did like proper lights everywhere with the. So it kind of were just.
Está comentando de que ellos lo que hacen, en las obras de entorno, enseñan la escena, revisan el tema de las luces, ¿no? Lo que vemos de los neones que tiene por aquí arriba y tal. Y luego que es el equipo de luces el que se encarga de retocar las luces, reafinarlas y ponerlas adecuadamente.
Establishing the mood of the area that we want.
It'd be nice if we could make one of those flicker actually, as sort of like
ellos hacen como lo que quieren, lo que pretenden, ¿no? El diseño básico, y luego pues ya los retoques los hacen pues, el equipo de luces.
He goes, could you please make a back door off the G-lock to the bus landing?
So that...
Oh, what? Because it just looks over the bus stop, doesn't it? And you have to go all the way around.
Yeah.
Now we've got to find the light styles.
Yeah.
It's actually when we were looking at the G-lock earlier, I realized that I haven't looked at it recently. Personally, like I haven't gone and looked at it recently. I didn't realize it had a whole outdoor cafe area now.
Which bit?
The G-lock. The G-lock bar, when we were looking at it, has that whole outdoor seating.
Ah.
I'm realizing that it has been a while since I.
Bueno, hay que matar a Discolando, no queda de otra. Yo creo que tenemos que pedir su cabeza. A ver, está diciendo de que no se había dado cuenta de que había una cafetería externa en Área 18 a golpe de, no sé, a punto de sacar la 3.6. Hay que matarlo. Entonces, bueno, pues decían que también preguntaban ahí en plan de coña si podían poner una puerta trasera para la estación de autobuses y tal. Simplemente me ha dejado, o sea, no sé, me gustaría que esa clase de comentarios que hace que no sucedieran. Es una pena, es una pena.
I've visited the G-lock bar. I didn't see that. I saw that today and I'm like, I don't remember those seats.
Oh, is this light styles you're only?
Oh yeah, I'm changing the auxiliary one. Oh my bad.
Sorry.
There we go.
Sorry, guys. There you go.
All right, so what value is that you're changing to make it flicker?
This is the light style. It's basically a set of sort of pre-canned, I guess, animations for the lights themselves. So you can kind of make them flicker, make them strobe, that sort of thing. They're used, extensively to dictate. We use them to sort of like light states in terms of like for ships and stuff. If you're in an emergency state, you'll change the light settings, the light presets with these different animations. For like claxons and stuff.
Should probably put up.
Estaban diciendo que tienen como una herramienta para con diferentes prediseños de los tipos de luz, del comportamiento de la luz y de parpadeos, tal, mil historias, ¿no? También lo tienen lo tienen desarrollado para las naves. Y vemos como que estaban cambiando el color. O sea, básicamente, lo dicho, ellos lo que tratan de hacer aquí en esta escena es tratar de hacer la base de lo que ellos pretenden, y pues en el caso de que se realice, pues el tipo de luces lo afinará más.
A light in here.
An actual light fixture.
Corey, Valorum Geige is asking if you ever use procedural systems to place props.
That's a very interesting question, actually. We, I personally don't. The props team personally doesn't. We do have guys working on that. For instance, truck stops. What we tend to do is, forgive me as an artist, explaining this is it's not necessarily my area of expertise, but I can try my best to explain it to you now. But please forgive me if there's any inaccuracies. But we basically have a system where we have volumes allocated on surfaces. So, for instance, we have a table, we have a volume inside that table that can fit a certain amount of assets. And each asset is given a volume. So, for instance, the squeegee ball would be given a volume. And if it fits within that table, we can, based on a tag system, so say, for instance, this might be tagged as toy or something along those lines, we can say, okay, this desk should spawn toys. And we use that to generate very rapidly a set of presets that we can then use.
Que le han hecho la pregunta de si a la hora de hacer props, si tienen alguna manera procedural de hacerlo o utilizan algo. que ha dicho que es una pregunta muy interesante, que pide disculpas primero porque es una persona que se dedica al arte y que no trabaja en desarrollo tal cual, que por lo tanto no puede que su respuesta no sea lo precisa que debería. Entonces comenta que efectivamente tienen personas que están trabajando en eso y personas que están, por ejemplo, trabajando en la superficie de una mesa y que la superficie de la mesa, pues, al estar conteniendo un volumen, pues que puede ser variable y a su vez los objetos que hay encima, que también pues tienen su volumen y entonces estaba poniendo el ejemplo de que si, por ejemplo, tienes una mesa que tiene juguetes encima, el poder pillar y como generar ahí juguetes, que se generen juguetes encima de la mesa. Y que es una herramienta pues que han empezado a utilizar.
Use to be placed around, say, for instance, the truck stops. So yeah, basically we do. I hope that was useful.
Yeah, it's one of the things about Star Citizen in general. We build a lot of procedural systems, you know, that touch a lot of aspects of the games. But some games use procedural systems as the end goal. Like they build a system, and then the procedural system is what makes the world that you see, and that's it. We tend to use our procedural systems as the starting point. You know, it lays a foundation, and then we have artists come in and go through and give it that personal touch. Like we use the procedural systems in many cases to save us time. To give us a foundation, to bring a bunch of stuff.
Bueno, está comentando que a diferencia de otros juegos que utilizan el sistema procedural para generar el juego entero, en Star Citizen lo que hacen es que utilizan el sistema procedural para plantar los cimientos y que luego los artistas lo reajustan, lo pulen, ¿no? Entonces que le dan su toque personal. Está hecho.
Stuff in there, but you never quite can beat that hand touch of then having somebody go through and just moving that coffee maker, even if it's just as little as an inch to the left, you know. But it's like, no, this is more appropriate to where it would be. Nobody would put their coffee cup, you know, this far from the sink, you know. It's stuff like that. It's this combination of using procedural systems and the hand care of the artist. I think that's one of Star Citizen's hallmarks.
Another light.
Claro, dice que una de las cosas que tiene Star Citizen es precisamente que no tendría sentido, lo que comenta, no tendría sentido el que viéramos una taza de café en A Tomar por Saco, ¿no? Entonces que en A Tomar por Saco lejos de lo que sería el fregadero, por ejemplo, ¿no? Entonces que los artistas lo que se encargan es de dar esos retoques o dar ese mimo, ¿no? Esa es una de las cosas interesantes que suceden en Star Citizen, que se aprovechan tanto de la tecnología procedural para ahorrar tiempo como de la calidad de qué significa pues el tener un artista ahí detrás mirando que todo cuadre, que tenga sentido, ¿no?
Find another light.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I think largely procedural placement of assets can yield pretty good results, but also if you're trying to tell a story, to create a procedural system that can tell a story, I think is quite a significant challenge, you know. So sometimes it's good for fleshing stuff out, but if you kind of want that touch of humanity in a scene, I think, you know, as an aid, procedurally aided environments, I suppose you would be a better description for them rather than procedurally driven.
Yeah.
Claro, está comentando eso un poco el desarrollador, ¿no? Dice que claro, que o sea, el artista, ¿no? Está diciendo que si tú le quieres dar que la escena te cuente realmente esa historia, está genial tener sistemas procedurales, pero si realmente te quieres que te cuente esa historia, pues que necesitas ese toque, ¿no? Esa humanidad que te transmite la escena.
If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, because I mean it's everything at every level, from the big moons down to the individual scenes. It's you start with the procedural and then you go through and you kind of, all right, you know, it would be a little more interesting if this cliff face were a little more, you know, jagged than it currently is, and you just make the adjustments, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
exactly, yeah, and it's you know, it's those sort of small touches and that flair that can kind of really help with just bringing a scene to life, as you said.
It's the difference between using it to save time and using it to do your work.
So we've got a bunch of props here that are like sort of a crime scene kind of thing. Corey, I thought it'd be nice if you like sort of talked about what the process is of making a prop like this.
Can I just say before that it bothers me just a little bit that both you and the community had the idea of making a murder scene. Like we were barely 5 minutes into the show, and the Twitch chat's like, do a crime scene, and you guys like, we were already planning to do a crime scene.
So, I'm glad.
La gente que está pidiendo desesperadamente que haga una escena del crimen.
Do you want me to just jump into the set real quick?
Yeah.
Are you doing some lighting stuff? All right,
I was gonna pull some stuff through, but you can have
nice one. Okay, so sorry, I'm kind of using the key.
Voy a comentar una cosa. Para quien realmente quiera ver una escena del crimen en el juego, ya hay una escena del crimen en el juego. En una de las misiones que te manda en... no recuerdo mal, en Crusader, es que tienes que hacer un trabajo de ir a buscar un cadáver. Entonces, digamos que se supone que han despiazado un pavo en 2 cajas y lo han metido en 2 cajas y que tú tienes que deshacerte del cadáver. Lo que tienes que hacer es ir a la estación, al outpost en cuestión, que es un outpost que no aparece marcado. Verás todo ensangrentado, todo el suelo lleno de locura. Y luego, pues, de hecho, dejarme que mire un momento, porque yo diría, vamos a ver. Haría que lo tenía. Me cago en la leche. Bueno, yo tengo una foto de esa escena del crimen. Y a ver si la puedo sacar un momentito. Bueno, si no, luego os la enseño al fin. Vamos a seguir. Luego os la enseño.
Keyboard in a weird way right now, so please forgive me. But we have this little set of assets. I think it was made for a mission originally, but it's one of those things where once there may be a specific requirement for, or someone may specifically ask for an asset for it to come in game. Obviously, we're not going to make absolutely every item imaginable right off the hop, but once you have it, you can kind of work it into the story as well. So that's an example of where props would inform narrative in a way. But this is basically a set of various UEE evidence files and crime scene, like measuring tapes, stickers for numbering, I guess, evidence.
I kind of want to use that narcotics evidence thing as a
Lo que están poniendo ahí es que han creado unos props, ¿no? Que vemos como lo mítico que vemos cuando hacen una redada y tal, y exponen todo el material. Pues están como poniendo movidas de la UE y demás historias con numeritos.
like a water bottle.
Yeah, that would be a pretty sweet wall bottle.
The environment team may or may not put some of these every now and then as a bit of an Easter egg in places. Here we are. So
Yeah.
I've got some lights that I've made before.
Yeah, this is some canned lighting stuff that we're just going to drag in to kind of help with the scene.
Yeah.
Yes, we are working on an accelerated timeline. We only have an hour for the show, and obviously this is not work that can generally be completed in an hour.
Dice que esto no va a poder ser completado en una hora, pero
we've kind of
lo intentarán hacer
before the
rápido.
show, we just picked out a select few assets that we knew we would need, and it would be great to work with you guys to figure out where they're going.
Vale, dice que como que han preseleccionado ya una serie de cosas que pueden necesitar, porque si no, no les daría tiempo a hacerlo en una hora. Y que, pues imagino que nos van a decir ahora que le ayudemos a colocar, ¿no? Las cosas, como quiere que la gente que
go kind of tell the story with them. So.
What is that? Is that an ATM?
It's an ATM.
It is an ATM.
Yeah.
We actually have a fair few of them that we got made. There's this holographic one. It's quite nice. Then there's some bigger ones, and we just kind of wanted a bunch of ATMs for our corp essentially.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to have that sort of machinery.
What the terminals are. There we go. Oh, and this is what it looks like in white box.
Oh, very nice. That's an example of a white box asset.
Yeah, what a happy accident.
Yeah, eso es un
recurso,
un proceso, ¿no? Lo que vimos
he's
antes.
a big. I mean, I was thinking, why do you need an ATM so big? And then I thought, it looks really cool.
Shall we make it bigger?
No.
Props doesn't like when we scale things.
Yeah, we get upset. Sometimes I go into a level and I'm like, oh, what's this asset? I don't recognize that. And it's a shipping container that someone's shrunk down to the size of a box. And that always makes me laugh when that
So
happens.
La sangre como la mueven y todo,
is
¿qué pasa?
the sets of decals. Now these decals are basically textures that get projected into the environment. So we have here in this material editor. Now, excuse, this is going to get very big. Bap. In this material editor, if I grab this one, we have basically a bunch of decals that we can use, like blood splatters, chipped paints, and stuff like that. And I'll just flick through them and show you guys what some of these look like. Just gonna look.
Nos está comentando que esto lo que tienen aquí es como una imagen proyectada sobre el recurso, ¿no? Entonces que una herramienta para hacer las diferentes proyecciones de este estilo, y pues nos va a enseñar unas cuantas ahora.
Through these blood splatters. This that looks nice. Nothing.
Yeah. So this is the sort of placement of assets that aren't props that can really help.
So my art director is messaging me saying more blood. So okay, we'll add more blood.
So what do you guys think? In this situation, we have an ATM machine, we have a crime. What sort of thing would you guys like to see with this? Do you have any ideas how we can take this idea and run with it?
Looking at the chat, we got chat in two places. We got chat on Twitch and we got chat on Spectrum, which is our communication platform on robertspaceindustries.com if you want to chat there. Somebody said, can you put blood on the ATM?
Ah, already on it.
Nice. I mean, that looks like someone's exploded.
Quite a bit. There we go.
Me están preguntándole que si pueden poner sangre en el ATM, en el cajero, pero que no queda muy bien, la verdad.
We need something a little bit more subtle for the ATM.
Yeah, maybe the spatter A. I think that's a good one.
There we go.
Yeah,
Looks a bit more
shrink that
subtle.
guy down a bit.
Right, so
But yeah, decals are one of the tools under, in a tool belt of environment artists. They tend to use these sort of projected decals to just kind of take a flat floor and break it up a bit. I mean, Lauren can tell you more about that. But he's
That's
just-
right, yeah. So actually, a lot of the dirt you're seeing here are decals as well. I think I have some that can perhaps be picked.
I think you got that guy frozen at the moment.
Yeah, I'll just show it with these guys. So this dirt here, as well as things like sometimes when something smashes into a metal plate or something like that, we'll use decals to actually project that detail in. So I think it adds a lot more character to a scene and makes it look a little bit more, wow, this guy just exploded.
Dice que muchas de las cosas que vemos en el suelo, como por ejemplo zonas rollo metálico o tal, realmente que son proyecciones, son decals que le llaman, ¿no? Y pues que como que de esa manera consiguen darle más personalidad a la escena, más detalle.
Yeah, yeah. The blood effects are
get over
quite
that.
heavy-handed. The ones
So
we have here.
let's ask chat what the crime was. All right, so we,
Yeah,
we have an ATM. So, I mean, is the ATM incidental, or was the ATM the center of the crime?
Yeah, I mean, we could do it as a robbery gone wrong. We could have
See what chat says here.
maybe the ATM's unrelated. It's up to you guys. I mean, the ATM was kind of an idea we had, but if you have any other ideas,
ATM is the suspect.
ATM is the killer.
The
You could
ATM
shove
was
a knife-
defending itself. All right. It seems like most people are saying yes, it was a crime. So somebody was at the ATM when they were assaulted. So
Okay. Yeah, we could have some measuring tape. Maybe I was thinking we should have a vote on what the murder weapon would be.
sure.
Dice
Let me hear
que,
some murder weapons, guys.
dice que como que se ha decidido en el chat de que va a ser un asesinato y que ahora pues que se decida cuál ha sido el arma, ¿no?, utilizada para el asesinato.
We might have it, we might not.
Yeah.
So I'll try,
Puede que la
I'll-
tengamos, puede que
I'll
no,
try
dice.
and, off the top of my head, remember the best asset to kind of work with you guys.
Okay, no. People are saying a turtle.
Oh,
Tortuga.
Yeah,
Una
Well,
tortuga.
yeah, we can do it.
It's funny you said that because
Do you have a
And I'm
turtle?
not
I was
gonna
gonna
say-
go through here.
I'm not going to say the name of the first person who said turtle, Harry Tank.
So we were just playing around here earlier,
Hi, Nick.
you see, and we brought this guy in.
LOL. LOL.
Okay. Okay. We were talking about the murder
Una
weapon,
tortuga
not
con
the
el.
assailant.
Estamos viendo. Estamos viendo una tortuga con el cuchillo y la citizen con, chavales.
ditch the knife.
Ah, you
and we
can. Oh, we'll
Well,
ditch
okay.
the knife. Maybe the.
We'll ditch the knife and we'll have the turtle.
Well, yeah,
Maybe it was the
because the assailant wouldn't stick around at the murder scene.
Yeah, you're right.
So he's not
Unless
a
he's
weapon.
particularly proud of
Perfect.
Should he be upside down like that? I kind of feel sad now.
Well, you should see some kind of blood splatter on the turtle. So this is obviously a blunt force trauma. The turtle
Yeah,
was the weapon.
Mm.
So the
Claro,
turtle-
que añaden un poco de sangre a la
No,
tortuga
it's a shame we don't
porque
have a
pues
smashed
el arma entonces
turtle,
como que
but-
parece un poco
no,
destrozada,
let's
¿no?
not do
Que haya
that.
No,
sangre.
the turtle was hard. The turtle didn't take the damage. The person
The
did.
turtle didn't care, man. The turtle just wants someone to turn him right way
The
up.
fact that the turtle is intact just tells you how much damage it did to the person.
Ooh. All right, there you go. That's a grizzly turtle.
Perfect, right? That's what you wanted.
Maybe if you bring it up a bit so it's like slightly transparent on the floor. Yeah. That's cool. All right. The turtle
And
is the
this,
weapon.
of course, is the person,
The victim.
the
Yeah.
victim. Oh, you can see here how the decals work because I moved this along. You can see the dirt that we have
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Just
If you look,
Yeah,
if you,
fijaros-
you can see the
across it.
sort of.
Fijaros en la superficie de lo que está hablando de las decals, las proyecciones. Fijaros cómo se van moviendo esas proyecciones, que es parte de las proyecciones que tienen, ¿no? Vemos cómo se mueven.
It works like a light, but for I guess like dust and stuff. So maybe we should get a little table and put like all the evidence stacks and stuff on that.
Yep. Now, when we want these kinds of props, I think it's quite important to sort of white box them out first in terms of like the metrics and stuff. But sometimes, when we don't have time, we just ask props to make any kind of table. So I'm just gonna search for literally any table I can find here on the right, and I'm gonna see whatever I find. I'm gonna add it in there that could be useful. I've got a glass table.
That's a bit classy, isn't it?
Oh, a camping
Bueno,
table.
van a
Stove,
meterle
we have a
movidas
stove.
que pueden ser
We have a
útiles ahora
stove.
mismo.
Yeah, that's a nice little
Perfect.
portable stove.
Está buscando recursos, ¿no? O sea,
He is a
props,
bit
mejor
classy.
dicho.
So
Yeah.
that's precisely why it's important to keep within the art style. We can use whatever tables we want here, but really, we want the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Go
going to
Mary.
say, we're having trouble believing CSI
Yeah,
would bring a patio table out.
Oh yeah, they've been straight to IKEA.
Precisely. Now I know we have some,
Yeah, we got some nice tables.
some tables in
Not
here.
leather tables. That one, that
This one?
green one, that kind of looks like a portable thing. It's got like fold up legs, so I imagine that to be like a sort of field table of sorts, you know.
Yeah,
Vale,
that's no problem.
están buscando, dice que como la gente del CSI, que a veces trae mesas y tal, y las despliega y tal, y dice que esta mesa que luce como una mesa desplegable, entonces están tratando de escoger una mesa que encaje con eso, ¿no?
We can throw that in the
It's a
corners.
bit big, but maybe, they're a big team.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you could put some evidence bags on
Claro,
it.
dice que es
Maybe
una mesa
there-
grande,
maybe there
pero
are
que
some
quizás
other,
son un gran equipo.
Maybe there are some other pieces of evidence found, like credit card.
A credit chip.
Yeah.
What were
credit
they
chip.
stealing?
Well, they might have been trying to mug the guy whilst he's using the ATM.
We're actually going to search for a credit chip here.
Vale, a buscar por,
I think we do have those,
por
those
un
got
chip
made
de
recently.
crédito, es una tarjeta de crédito,
Yeah.
para incluirla también.
Credit chips.
You said we had some interesting sort of homemade ones that we could use.
Oh,
right?
there's like hacker chips, isn't there? Yeah, so it could be
Shall we
like
do that
a-
one?
Yeah. Oh, if you type in hacking.
Hack.
Yeah, hack.
Chip hack.
There you go.
Ah,
That's
so
kind of cool
maybe
looking, isn't it? Yeah.
maybe
Habéis escuchado, ¿no? Que tienen o sea, están enseñando las diferentes tarjetas que tienen y una de ellas han dicho que tienen uno para hackear. Interesante.
that's what they were trying to steal from the.
Yeah.
use
It
this
could
to
be a
steal
bit
the
of
money.
criminals trying to steal from other criminals. Maybe that'd be kind of cool.
Yes, to add to the conversation that's happening in chat, the theme of today's show is dressing the scene. We are here with an environment artist and a props artist to talk about the process of dressing a scene artistically. If you're wondering why questions about how this will work in the game or how that will work in the game aren't being asked today, it's because
Yeah.
these are not the guests who have that information.
We're not working on any sort of crime-related gameplay mechanics at the
Yeah.
moment. We're sort of it's a frame. It's a sort of excuse.
La gente vuelve a decir lo mismo por las preguntas que está haciendo la gente, para qué servirá, cómo harás esto, cómo harás aquello, y dice que esto solo es el equipo de arte que no y que simplemente está montando una escena del crimen, pero no pueden predecir o decir cómo va a interactuar esto a la hora del gameplay, ¿no?
For us to kind of
Yes. Now,
chat.
this
chat
week's
about
show's
our work.
about art process, so if you're asking questions that aren't related to art process, that's probably why they're not getting asked.
We need some ticker tape, don't we?
We do.
Tienen
que do not
tarjetas de
cross them.
hackeo.
Shall I find
I
some?
think
Yeah.
we have. I think I had a little look earlier. I think we could find some caution tape.
You just stash things like behind the wall, like when mom says you have to clean up your room before you leave, and you just
Yeah,
hide
yeah.
things behind the.
You just shove it all
Closet
in
door?
the wardrobe, don't you? Just the whole lot. You just
Imagine what could be behind the walls of Area 18.
Yeah.
Vale,
What optimizations for.
están sacando las
Yeah,
que detrás
exactly.
de los
We
muros
don't
de
normally
Área
do this
18.
actually in a level.
Dice en plan de coña, ¿no? Que imaginaros lo que puede haber detrás de las paredes de 18.
By the way, just to make that clear, we normally
Not big
we're a
enough.
bit more well
but-
behaved.
Not intentionally.
Yeah. We might have some barriers you could kind of put between them.
Yep, that's a good idea. Well, we have one
Yeah.
that's big
Oh, that
enough.
kind of
But
works.
As I
We'll
say,
get- we'll get a
the
barrier.
tape would be at like waist high. Tape wouldn't be
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the floor.
it's coming.
We're sorry, it's caution tape. I don't think we actually have any please do not cross
Yeah.
kind of tickets.
So here's another situation where we'd ask props, hey, can you
Wanna
make
make some
us?
crime scene tape?
Sometimes it's as easy as just swapping a texture. So to make another texture that just fits this asset,
I should actually do that at some point.
let's get some barriers in there.
Claro, mira, acaba de darse cuenta que a la hora de hacer de poner la cinta, ¿no? Que les falta algo como para sujetarla por el medio. Entonces que sería buena idea hacer un recurso para eso que encajara con el tema, ¿no? Un prop que encajara con ese recurso. Entonces como que a medida que van trabajando también van surgiendo cosas. Hablando del tema del Login Content Streaming, de las paredes y tal, En Lorville, si os acordáis, había una Idris debajo de Lorville. Estaba entera, ¿no? Entonces puede que estuviesen probándolo yo con Dan en streaming, con esa Idris ahí. De tal manera que si no se veía, que no cargase la textura, etcétera. Puede ser uno de los motivos por el cual estuviera, ¿no?
Yeah.
Somebody was
Yeah, we could-
asking if we could put like a guard or a police officer guarding the scene at some point.
Yeah, we could do that. We could take one of the characters and just plop him in front.
Me van a pillar un
We're a
personaje y
little over
ponerlo, a ver qué
halfway through our
pasa.
time, by the way.
Okay, cool.
So we're
It's
doing
good
good.
to know.
We're doing good.
Oh, there's maybe too much
Ah,
of a
dice que lo van a
barrier.
hacer
He's
más
an
tarde,
equal,
por lo
isn't
visto, al
he?
final.
What have we here?
We have some other barriers.
Big to big.
Yeah, normally it's a lot easier if you have a scene with a lot of this stuff placed in, like a zoo. We do have zoo levels that we can load up and browse through.
Oh, fancy.
Oh, yeah, it's a very VIP murder. This
yeah,
one.
maybe it's a VIP murder.
Yeah. Merlin's Stare, that's not art related, that's game system related.
Yeah, so obviously, when we're dressing the scene, we have quite a few days to sort of just look through the things we have and really try to build something that's quite fleshed out.
Yeah.
But in the interest of time,
We're just winging it.
let's just add this guy in there. Do you know any
Very
props there
VIP
that are good
murder.
for this?
Do you mind if I drive?
Yeah, drive.
Sorry, I'm just gonna. You two have a little chat whilst I find some.
If you can get some VIP velvet stanchions past Ian for this, I'll be amazed.
That would
Nah,
be great. wouldn't
I
it?
don't think
you'd
he will.
Love it.
I mean, maybe I'll make the scene look a little bit more genuine, and then we can pass it through Ian and see what he likes.
Well, you've already been in that one, haven't you?
I've been in that
Not
one,
This
yeah.
one. What about this one?
There we go. There's
That's
some
more
barriers.
like it. I'd say like a single one, like maybe a couple of them.
Don't close it. Don't close it.
Oh god, I almost closed it. That would have been absolutely tragic. Would have taken him weeks to get that back. All right, I'm just going to clone a couple of these guys in here. I'm not a set dresser in my full-time job, so please forgive me if. I mean, Loan, what do you think? Is that okay?
I mean,
Maybe
I just can't
maybe
believe
maybe,
that you're
maybe just
doing
one on
this
either
to not-
side.
to-
Bueno, es una pasada cómo están trabajando, ¿no? Pues simplemente le ha hecho el compañero que rescate. Bueno, estaban hablando de que cómo luciría una escena más lujosa, ¿no? De si fuera una persona importante, si le pondrían ahí cosas de. Pues como una escena más peculiar, ¿no? Que, bueno, que puede que fuese una escena más peculiar. Pero aparte de eso, estaban buscando otro tipo de recursos para poner aquí, para apoyar esta banda, ¿no? Y es increíble cómo en nada pues ha puesto el recurso y los ha hecho girar así en plan a la vez. Una pasada el este.
proper 45 degrees and
Oh,
90 degrees.
nah, I'm just
It's
eyeballing it, man. It's the Wild West.
Yeah, but that's one of those things where if everything were at a perfect 45 degrees, you'd have
Yeah.
trouble believing that a human being came and set them. When they're slightly off and slightly ajar like that,
So what you're saying is that we're implying the robots did it.
Yeah, it was a robot crime. Did you guys say you wanted like a guard? I think we could probably just steal like one of the Hurston security guys or something. That might be kind of cool.
But no, you can't put a Hurston guard on our corp. That wouldn't pass muster either.
All right,
A
I'm
whole
just gonna.
different corporation with a whole different set of rules. The law system's going in 3.6.
Oh, we have an Area 18 guard.
There you go.
Vale, estaban diciendo de poner un tipo de Hearthstone ahí de seguridad y disparando dicen no podemos poner eso porque no encajaría con la escena porque en la 3.6 habrá diferentes jurisdicciones y pues al final han metido ahí un pavo de 18.
Go. I mean, he's not advocacy,
I
but
can-
he's local security.
Well,
so
yeah,
that
wouldn't
kind
it be advocacy here because this isn't UE territory. This is our corp. It's an independently run.
private planet. Okay.
Yeah, it's a private planet.
Okay. Cool.
I'm just gonna copy him. His twin
He's
is
got
on
a
the other
brother.
side.
Yeah. There you go.
Me está comentando que es seguridad
So
privada
identical
porque
twin,
pues que es un planeta
brother
privado y
cops.
demás.
So
Somebody
I'm
asked.
gonna go on.
Somebody asked if you guys have ever left any Easter eggs in a scene for people to find.
Well,
All the
we
time,
wouldn't
yeah.
tell you.
Yeah, all the time, but we're not going to tell you where.
That would be that would be.
There wouldn't be Easter eggs if
Well,
that was.
Can you tell us about any that you know people have already found?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few. I think there's some turtle. Was there like turtle-related Easter eggs, or
I think there were a few.
there are? I don't know if those got found. Benny Henge was.
Yeah, we put a few in Area 18. We've got one of the artists telling us, yes, we got some in there.
Yeah, Benny Hinge was probably the biggest one.
Bueno,
Benny
están,
Henge was. It's kind of tragic.
están comentando que se han puesto algún secreto, ¿no? En general, para encontrar a los jugadores y están hablando de las tortugas, de que dicen algunas para tal. Pero bueno, que dice que no nos van a decir si han puesto un secreto o no, que tenemos que buscarnos la vida.
magic because I know I did all the sort of assets for like the graffiti and stuff. I spoke to Luke Presley a lot about when he was making that, his ideas for it and stuff. I'm kind of sad that players were able to find it without solving the puzzle to get there, if you know what I mean. But
somebody stumbled onto it.
yeah, exactly. Someone just saw a bright light in the distance and flew towards it, and there you go.
So again, I just swapped out one of our prefabs into another one of our pre-made ones, which is.
Vale, están volviendo a hablar de cómo están construyendo, ¿no? Entonces han hablado de que como hacer una especie de puzzle a la hora de tener que encontrar un algo. Se tuviera que hacer una especie de puzzle para poder acceder. Ya están volviendo a que están colocando ahí una especie de prefabricadas y no son.
I believe this one here.
Done with the forklift.
So in the had we the time to go through everything, we'd probably do a bit of the dressing here. In this case, I'm going to show this one off. We've got a forklift, like a trash can there, and all this kind of stuff. And then when that gets brought up here, it's lit on the level, like I said before. And here's an example of like what a light can do to the scene in terms of really showing like a dynamic environment. Speaking of dynamic environments,
Claro,
I'm going to steal some of these.
Está mostrando lo que son las luces, ¿no? Con ese tono mecánico de lo que realmente puede hacer las luces mecánicas dinámicas al entorno, ¿no? La aportación que dan.
Smoke, VFX over here.
El efecto de humo.
Sort of give you that noir crime feel.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah, look at that.
I mean, there's nothing exactly
está
emitting the
puesto.
smoke over here, but
It's ambient
It's
sewer kind of city grime that just gets everywhere.
yeah. So when we're dressing this kind of scene, we would actually be thinking about, okay, where are there vents? Can we add some vents here? Let me try and find
Ventilación, si se
maybe
podría
there
añadir
we
algún
can bring
sitio.
in a vent.
Somebody in the chat is calling bullshit and saying that forklift can't fit through that door.
It folds in half.
Yeah, I mean, you guys made the prop.
Yeah,
How about you tell the story there?
It folds in half. Yeah.
This is actually a prop.
That's that forklift was actually there when they were building Area 18 originally, and through some oversight they forgot to.
Bueno, básicamente está llamándole todo un pavo, ¿no? Y, bueno, ya no llamándole todo, no, pero protestando porque no hay manera de que el toro mecánico entre ahí, ¿no? Con las dimensiones que tiene. Y están así un poco de mofa y el pavo poniendo la excusa de que, joder, que ya estaba hecho eso antes de hacer el 18 y que sea tamaño y tal.
To remove the forklift when they put the so it's been there ever since. Actually, it's quite a sad story, really.
Dice que es una historia triste.
No, it doesn't really. That's probably. I'm going to blame the environment team for that. That's bad continuity.
Well, maybe that's why it's still there. That's why it's still there. It's like it's trapped.
Exactly. It's trapped in there, man.
Somebody will write the unfortunate ballad of Forky McForklift.
Well, actually, we have the utilitarian air cons.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So Luan just did an interesting thing there where he flipped something sideways. I mean, I just wanted to point out because it's kind of nice seeing people taking assets and sort of using them, not in an unconventional way, but kind of getting more out of them by adding that sort of variation.
And we can see how the VFX just adds so much more life to the scene, combined with the lights and any other kind of animated elements. Suddenly the scene starts to come to life, which is quite nice.
I feel like one thing we're missing at the moment is a bit of dressing sort of around the perimeter of the walls. I find that kind of helps bed stuff in, maybe some like bin bags or rubbish and stuff, So
yeah, we can add some of the stuff in.
Throw a few things in.
Now these back alleys in Area 18 are obviously quite unkept.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a little search here.
The kind of place you'd put an ATM.
We got two bodies now.
It's not going to be a body for long. I think he's cloned the asset so he can swap it out for something else. There you go. Some nice bin bags.
So much trash on top of that.
Vale.
Let's not desecrate that poor.
Lo que acaba de hacer.
Who was killed by...
Fijaros la movida. O sea, Discolando acaba de preguntar que si va a haber dos cadáveres ahora y tal. Y que simplemente lo que han hecho es como clonar el objeto y ponerle que es otro recurso. Y habéis visto como un cadáver se ha transformado en basura.
A flying turtle.
The turtle flew. Okay.
I mean, someone threw it.
You reckon it was thrown and not?
I was thinking
that
it
was a
just a
projectile
blunt,
turtle.
Yeah.
For sure.
You reckon?
I was thinking somebody grabbed the nearest blunt force object they could find and just.
Yeah, I mean there are quite a lot of turtles strewn around for some reason.
I'm gonna focus on that area.
Yeah, that's looking cool, isn't it?
The cool thing about the turtle, I know it's been shown already, But one of the LOD states for the turtle is
It shrinks into its shell.
shrinks into its shell. So when you're
There's
far
one
away
is when
from
you get
it,
close to it, it shrinks.
Están hablando de que ya lo comentan en otras ocasiones, que una de las cosas interesantes en la tortuga es que cuando te acercas, o sea, que cuando te alejas, en teoría, está metida en su caparazón y cuando te acercas se abre las patas y la cabeza.
Into its shell.
right?
So we kind of the turtle was it was
Debería
just
ser al revés,
included
¿no? What
sort
the
of
fuck?
in a concept for I think just because one of the concept artists thought it was cute. But we saw it and we were like, oh man, wouldn't it be great if we actually had a turtle? And then it just kind of happened. So we didn't really have a lot of time, and obviously a lot of other departments were sort of busy with, you know, more important things than turtles. So we sort of had to do what we could to make it fun. So we added a little detail where when you get close to it, it shrinks into its shell, just using the LOD system.
Yeah. Looking at this light here, I kind of want to make it flicker.
Yeah.
And I want to make it a bit more intense. I'm going to change the light style and the intensity here.
Yeah.
Parece
So you
que-
can see with lights,
Dice que va a cambiar un poco la escena, hacerla como más intensa.
you can see those parameters actually change based on the state that light is in. It's got default state, auxiliary, and emergency. Those are settings that are used by the ship systems, I believe.
Yeah, there it is.
But for now, we're just working on.
Está comentando una cosa interesante que la luz que como tiene varios estados, tiene el estado por defecto y que luego tiene pues los diferentes estados acompañados con los estados de emergencia de las naves, que pues así se comportan las luces en las naves.
The default light settings. And it also goes to mention that we have an entire department dedicated to this, to the job of lighting scenes, and we're just kind of throwing stuff in there
Yes.
now. But it's a whole endeavor in itself. Lighting the scene properly is.
Somebody
It's
from the lighting team is watching the show, and when I go back to my desk, I'm going to have like messages like, "What are you guys doing?"
That's not optimized. Oh god.
No, that's casting shadows. Don't have it cast shadows.
Yeah.
Speaking of casting shadows, maybe we add something.
Bueno, está hablando así, bromeando, ¿no? De que por lo que están haciendo con las luces y tal, que alguien del equipo de luces va a llegar y va a empezar a ver mensajes en el escritorio de Discolando diciendo de las luces, ¿qué cojones estáis haciendo? En fin.
Bring up here.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to get the grates coming through. That looks kind of cool, right? That's sort of noir shades. Yeah.
Not as intense, but
Yeah, we can drop them down a bit, couldn't we? It doesn't even need to be blue. It could be like different color.
so yeah, we can change the
That's
color of the
kinda
light to
cool.
be sort of whatever we want.
I like the contrast between the blue
Bueno,
and the
pueden cambiar el
the-
color
the
como
sort of pale
quieran,
yellow
lo
there. That's
típico,
pretty
¿no?
sweet.
Ahí está
Handle the
modificando.
light a bit.
Yeah, that's cool. Nice.
So yeah, you can see I do this, and then the lighting artists be like, no, let's change this. Let's make it look a lot nicer than just have this random light over here.
Yeah.
They would basically add on top of this dressing a little more storytelling by adding certain light fixtures in certain places, or these neons or whatever. We can do that too, but I think they take it a lot further. And then the VFX team also would come in and just add all these kinds of VFXs in places that like make sense.
Claro, dice que ellos podrían también mejorar las luces o decir que esta luz que no aparezca random aquí o tratar de poner pues el reflejo de estas luces por esta zona, pero que el equipo de luz podrá ir más allá, pues son más experimentados en su terreno, entonces quedaría mucho mejor. Inclusive lo que es el equipo de efectos. El equipo de efectos, pues el tema de humos y tal, pues que lo controlará más, ¿no?
To make it feel a lot nicer. Obviously, environment team's keeping all that in mind, but since we don't have a ton of time here,
Jipper
I think
says, so the ATM didn't have a camera? Sure, but when has a camera ever deterred crime?
They're still like 240p in the future.
yeah.
I mean, you've seen the quality of cameras on phones these days. Yet you go to a bank and their cameras are still awful. I don't think that's going to change.
Yeah, precisely. I mean, maybe they set out an EMP here before they actually did the crime.
Oh yeah.
They're really well prepared.
Maybe they were.
Están comentando, pero el cajero no tiene una cámara, entonces el crimen y tal, como sucedió y tal. Bueno, están hablando de la calidad de las cámaras de los móviles y tal, sin más. Y dice que quizás han echado un EMP antes de realizar el robo, para deshabilitar la cámara.
But I mean, if you were a professional, you'd probably bring your own murder weapon. You wouldn't use a turtle.
Well, maybe they did bring maybe this is the turtle killer. Maybe this is
Maybe they wanted to send a
a
message.
serial criminalist. that uses turtles as their.
O quizás quieren que se vea
Yeah, it could be
quieren
a
enviar un
gang.
mensaje y realmente este es el,
Like
el
a,
asesino de la tortuga.
Oh, I was trying to think of something that wouldn't infringe on copyright about turtles. About Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles. I don't know what you mean.
Ninja Turtles, Tortugas Ninja
Yeah,
está
imagine
hablando
if
ya,
you
bueno,
were-
se le está yendo la
Turtles are
flapa,
crossing over with
pero bueno, es
everything
normal,
lately.
está
Why
bien.
not?
Yeah.
They just had an animated Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie I watched the other day.
Oh, sweet.
That was pretty fun.
Está comentando de la peli de las Tortugas Ninja y Batman que hubo el otro día. O sea, que vi el
Gonna
otro
put
día.
some-
Yo también la he visto,
maybe
pero
some
bueno,
dirt.
sin más.
Some dirt, yeah. Dirt's always good.
That's
Bit of grime,
fine.
bit of dirt.
Oh, see, sometimes they can be very subtle. I'm not sure if this comes through, but there are certain gloss levels that we do on our materials to keep surfaces either shiny or matte, right? And sometimes we add a little bit of a subtle variation, either through wear on the asset itself or
Why
through
don't you
a couple
switch
of
to
decals.
the gloss view so we can see that?
We can do
the
that.
gloss debug. So
Specular reflector.
yeah, it's bottom.
There.
Down a couple.
Down, isn't it?
Yeah, you
There
got
it
it.
is.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
this
so you
is
can
this
see
is
this is the actual
yeah.
gloss view of what the reflectance of the materials kind of looks like.
So yeah, you can see adding. There's quite a lot of noise in the gloss maps themselves. If you look at every surface, it's got some sort of grime or wear. But if you were to switch to the albedo view, which is sort of like the color view, I mean, it's still got quite a lot of grime on it, but it's much less
Yeah.
contrasty. And
Obviously,
that's-
we made a man. Look at that blood; really stands out there. Huh?
Oh yeah, it does.
When we made Area 18, we knew that we wanted the materials to be quite dirty and that had that sort of aged feel to it. So that's something that we keep in mind. But it is something we
Yeah.
can change as well on the actual assets.
Yeah,
Vale, estaban comentando las diferentes capas, ¿no? Y cómo hacen, pues cómo se ven, pues con colores, sin colores, con el tema de la luz, los reflejos y demás, que es lo que vimos antes en blanco y negro y demás. Y bueno, básicamente que ellos quieren cómo hacer que los materiales en esta ocasión, en la zona del 18, tengan esa sensación de tener ya unos años, ¿no? De ser materiales viejos ya.
actually, I was just going to say it would be great to get some wear on that ATM. Hopefully, it's had a wear pass on it.
I hope so too.
Yeah, dynamic. We haven't actually tested it.
We have a wear slider essentially that brings up the
There
wear.
you go.
There
That's
you
not
go.
bad. Yeah. So on the props team and the environment team, we try and keep wear and dirt as a dynamic value for assets. Basically, we want to be able to say, instead of having two separate assets for a clean and dirty ATM, we just basically have a bunch of material settings that allow you to dictate how dirty and worn it is. So that way
Claro, en el caso de la hora de determinar la suciedad de los materiales, en vez de tener diferentes versiones de lo que sería limpio y sucio, lo que tienen es que cada material tiene propiedades y pueden determinar, mientras esas propiedades, la cantidad de suciedad o lo limpio que está.
we can just say, oh, this ATM, maybe it's in the central business district in Lowville, so it's quite shiny and sleek and it's been looked after. Or maybe it's in a back alley of Area 18 where it's going to have had a bit of a harder life, maybe a bit of neglect, and it will just help it bed it into that sort of grimy city scene. Oh, what are you doing, that guy?
Claro, está diciendo de la hora de montar la escena, ¿no? Pues que quizás si este cajero automático estuviese en la parte central de área 18, pues que sería reluciente y se vería maravilloso, pero como está en una parte de atrás escondido, pues que tienen esa sensación así de verse pues chunguillo, ¿no? Y pues que de esa manera que también aporta esa personalidad a la escena.
Nothing. He's just watching from the shadows.
Oh, he's like he's just keeping an eye on things, is he?
Yeah, he's making sure that no one's sneaking in from the back.
Están bromeando con
Let's
tener
have a couple of guards on the back.
Yeah, we could have a few more guards. If we were doing like screenshots, for instance, what we can do in the track view, which is basically like a sort of animation tool, we can assign poses to these guys. If we were just doing screenshots, for instance, for maybe like marketing or proof of concepts, so you can kind of really push like a sort of screenshot. We do all of our sort of screenshots in the game engine.
Yeah.
Using the actual character models, which I think is quite nice.
Yeah, obviously the characters in the level are AI, so they're not placed by the environment team. But
Yeah, that'll be touched by a completely different department. So we're adding a few more
Claro,
barriers.
están comentando que la posición de los personajes que no tiene nada que ver con ellos, lo están poniendo, pero eso tendría que ver con el equipo de personajes, ¿no? Que serían los que pondrían las cosas en condiciones, ¿no? No veríamos ahí pues esta Está cacota de momento.
I spent a lot of time in track view back when I was doing the old disco.
Y como que hacen capturas de las diferentes escenas, ¿no? Hay varias capturas para ver cómo queda, pues
Yeah,
lo
some
típico,
of
¿no?
the stuff that people have made in CryEngine just using our assets is fantastic.
Is there maybe any more evidence that we can add in?
Evidence. What do
What
you guys
else?
think? Is there any more? Maybe you
Maybe
dropped
there's
a
another
bag.
credit chip.
Yeah, maybe another credit chip. Maybe you dropped a bag.
Is there like a duffel bag kind of thing?
Yeah, we got duffel bags. It's right there.
No, so it is.
Boom. Duffel bag.
Perfect.
Yes.
Maybe they were stealing a lot of credit chips.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I moved the.
Don't select the
They're
whole
asking if we have a chalk line.
chalk line. Oh, like an outline.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think we do. I was thinking it'd be cool if we had like a sort of futuristic holographic projection of the person in the position of their
Right.
demise. That's not.
Yeah, you know,
that'd
one
be
of the
kinda
things
cool,
we
yeah.
think about, like,
Mira, una de
if
las
you got,
cosas
like, a
una de las cosas que tienen otros juegos, ¿no? Que está diciendo que sería interesante el poder tener la posición holográfica de la persona. Estaba haciendo el asunto, ¿no? del crimen. Pues lo hemos visto en The Division 2, por ejemplo, en otros juegos también, ¿no?
graffiti in the scene or something like that. We think about what graffiti might be like in the future, so maybe sometimes it's kind of like a cool holographic sort of thing rather than just, you know, like a spray paint. It's stuff that we sort of play with every now and then, and it would be quite interesting to sort of take it further in exploration sometime.
940 years from now, graffiti is going to be applied animated GIFs.
That would be great. I'm waiting for the day for animated tattoos.
Now it'll be animated memes. That will be the graffiti 940 years from now. You'll look on a wall and there'll be a frickin' meme.
Yeah.
Very likely.
Yeah. Ah, so you reckon he's nicked a bunch of these credit chips?
That's the next step in human evolution. Memes leave the internet and make it to the real world.
Nice. I'm liking that little detail there. So we've got a murder weapon. Has the suspect left behind any other clues then, like footprints?
Vale, pues hay
I think
como
we might
más
have some
pistas, ¿no?
bloody
Están poniendo más
footprints,
pistas, más
Oh,
cosas,
we
más
have
fases,
some
más
bloody
Oh, yeah,
That's
it-
movidas a
we
la
actually
escena.
have this fantastic
Hand
bloody
footprint.
hand.
Oh, that.
Look
LOL.
at that.
Que tiene una
Ah,
mano
sí,
ahí
the
de sangre ahí
recent game.
fantástica.
If that's going to be the size of the hand, we need to increase the size of the turtle.
Yes, you're right.
This is now a crime committed by a giant.
Yeah. I think it kind of looks like something out of
So
Death
does that
Stranding.
roughly look like
Like a massive,
that looks
those
like maybe
massive
someone's
oily
hand.
hands.
There we go. So we have a
Ah, so okay, so that was the victim then. He's or maybe that was maybe he's like reaching down to grab the credit chip out of the machine or something after he's bludgeoned the dude with a
Claro, que
turtle.
están
Unfortunately, this
como
guy
poniendo
had
que
that
quizás estaba con la mano apoyada mientras estaba
same
tratando
hand.
de recuperar su tarjeta, ¿no?
Yeah, but why
He's
was
already
El cajero mientras estaba ahí
He's got two
pudriendo
right
ya.
hands.
El
two
tortugazo.
right hands and somehow they
El
both
tortugazo.
got drenched in blood?
Yeah.
But you know, like when we're actually making this, we'd make a set of hand decals and
We're
stuff like
we're
that.
kind of
so-
working with stuff that's just kind of lying around.
I think we're losing the integrity of the scene here.
Ya, dice que están
No,
empezando a
it's
perder la
fine.
integridad de la
This-
escena
this-
porque
he's
están
got two
diciendo
left hands, you know.
una mano de locuras ya.
His gang name is like two left Tony. I don't know.
What is that, Corey?
Don't
Llamar al
gang members have cool
fulano
names like that?
Two Left Tony o algo así
Go ahead and add
al
a
pavo.
bit more
Bueno,
font.
están
What
ya
happens
empezando a
when you do this
desvariar.
show on Fridays? If this
That's
were a
true.
Monday, it'd be much more serious. In case you ever
Yeah.
wonder why we do this show on Fridays.
Fun that way. Oh, that's nice.
There we go. Added a bit more fog to the scene as
Yeah.
well to make it a little bit
It's
more.
nice to see
Añadiendo
the
más
light from,
niebla.
that, from the forklift coming through as well. That's quite stroby and ominous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bomb. That's cool.
Wow. So yeah, that's kind of our process, really. Obviously, after we've dressed the scene like this, we continually improve it and move some stuff around.
Una vez
maybe,
ponen esa escena,
maybe down the line we
continuarán
decide that we
mejorándola y
actually
demás y trabajando en ella.
wanna, extend this corridor, so we have to make a few changes. But you know, this is the kind of stuff that has a whole process, and then the lighting team would come in, the VFX team would come in.
Dice que esto es como funciona el proceso, ¿no? Que pues luego el equipo de luces vendrá y meterá mano y todo.
They move on to gray box altogether.
Claro, primero eran white box, luego grey box y luego a la parte arte final y demás,
It
¿no?
would be like a playable location, and it wouldn't really have any props, but like the essential architecture would be there, and then sort of moves on from there, really. But yeah.
Claro, dice que no tendrá, cuando terminan la escena, que no tendrá realmente props, pero que eso, pues a partir de ahí se empiezan a mover y empiezan a poder hacer algo jugable, ¿no?
You put it in here and you do something to it after the fact to make it interactable.
That's a great question.
why I asked
Interactivity Yeah, yeah. You ask all the great questions, Jared.
Poner algo que sea
So
interactivo para poder trabajar con ello una vez que
we
están ahí
tend
en la escena.
to work with the design team to create interactive props. We don't really have to do much to the prop itself to make it interactive. There's a bit of setup in DataForge to create an entity that has certain parameters. If it's carryable, we need to set up physics, how much it weighs, where your hand. We need to add like a point to the prop to say your hand is here. Maybe your grip size is dictated in this entity. So these are things we can do to any existing prop, really. Obviously, it's quite an extensive task to go through our entire.
Está comentando del tema de la hora de interactuar con los props, ¿no? Con las mesas y tal. Y si sería posible el hacerlo. Y dicen que sí, que claro que es posible hacerlo, pero que sería una tarea titánica. Pero que sí que no hay ningún problema a la hora de poder. Que simplemente pues tendrían que poner como una zona de agarre, por ejemplo en el cubo de basura, ¿no? Que te puedes agarrar ahí en esa zona. Y pues mientras te agarras ahí con la mano, pues que lo puedas levantar e interactuar con ello, que tendrían como que poner que detectar, ¿no? Que hay esa interacción, ¿no? Que se le pueden poner diferentes propiedades a los objetos, como que sea cargable o demás historias, ¿no? Como los cascos y demás.
Library of props and make them all interactive. It's something we want to do going forward. Is making interaction a larger part of our pipeline when we create a prop. Okay. But yeah, it's not too bad actually to make an interactive prop. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Before we finish up today,
dice que hacer uno no es tan malo, o sea, hacer un prop que sea interactivo que no es.
Leave in this scene that would absolutely confound the police. Like so far, we've done a pretty good job of making
Other
everything.
than the turtle?
Well, I mean, the turtle's covered in blood. It's got the things. We're pretty confident the turtle is the murder weapon. But what's something we could leave here that would just be like, how the hell did that get here? It just confuse.
Maybe like a flare of sorts.
A classic that comes to mind. Are you going to do like the teddy bear? What are you doing?
You can do the teddy bear?
I had another idea, but you know what? Of course I am.
Teddy bear's a good one, actually. Yeah.
But what was your other idea?
Yeah, I was gonna add one of the Hurston family portraits.
That's a good one, actually. Yeah, just like on the floor. Don't mess with our kind.
Maybe.
Yeah, teddy bear. Or there's a melon. We could do a melon. Or a hot dog.
We can.
Bueno, están simplemente ya desvariando, ¿no? Que se les está acabando el tiempo. Están diciendo qué cosas podrían poner que chocaran con la escena para cuando venga la policía y tal. Y pues están probando meter un oso de peluche. El tío tenía otra idea de poner, antes de que le dijera otro oso de peluche, de poner un distintivo, algo de la familia Hearthstone Dynamics, ahí, que sería interesante para el crimen. Y ahora están ya desvariando con poner un perrito caliente y movidas así.
Do the hot dog.
The hot dog, I had a lot of fun making the hot dog. Is that the version with the mustard on it, though?
Dice que se divirtió bastante haciendo el perrito caliente.
Yeah. Oh no, is the mustard broken?
Your mustard's broken.
The mustard's broken. I need to fix that, actually.
Your mustard is now a replacement.
La mostaza está rota
I
y tienen que arreglarla.
Mustard is now a replacement.
Sorry about that.
Here's the evidence right here.
Yeah.
Let's twist this guy a bit.
I wonder if the guy who made the rulers, I wonder if he actually made those any sort of actual measurement, like centimeters or something.
I'm assuming you did.
He might have. You need to enhance.
Enhance?
Yeah, that looks like inches and centimeters.
Oh, wow.
That's great. Nice.
Wait,
See, that's the kind of detail that goes into the props.
He went imperial with it? He went inches?
Yeah, it's got imperial and metric, so, you know, can please everyone.
Maybe it's a very large hot dog.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Sorry, I didn't mean to enlarge your props.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Eso, pues le están diciendo que, perdona, no tenía intención de hacer que tu prop fuera más grande, de engrandarlo, ¿no? Están bromeando con esas mierdas, ya se lo está yendo.
Perfect.
Maybe the teddy can sit on the hot dog.
Era sentar al osito encima del perrito.
Yeah, there you go.
Just to, add there you go. You wanted to confound the police? I think you did it.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe you should give him a knife or a gun or something.
Can we put like a light behind his eyes?
That's Chris. Oh, not behind the eyes. I was gonna.
Oh, from like underneath. That's like the most ominous.
Le vamos a poner como un cuchillo o algo así, le vamos a poner cosas.
Nah, you gotta do it underlit, man. Like proper creepy, yeah, and make it red. Sorry, I don't mean to yeah. That's what you want. And
we'll make it bright red.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually,
Y ahí le han
I'm not
cambiado a
sure about
rojo,
that
¿no?
now,
Que
but-
es lo que
Really?
están.
It was your idea, man.
I'm gonna be in your office next week. Let's wait until I'm there before we show this to Ian, and let's just pitch it to him like really
All right.
serious. Like,
Yeah,
we
I'm
think this
pretty
can make
sure he
we
gets
think
seen.
this could work in the game, Ian. Let's just.
I
I want to be there when you pitch it.
Listen,
fine.
Listen, Ian. Look, we've had an idea.
Yeah,
Here's the new crime scene.
yeah,
And there you go.
All
That's
right.
kind of the process we go through.
yeah.
Oye, que están bromeando con presentar esta escena de verdad, ¿no?
Into the realms of bizarre now.
Y decir,
Hold
pues
on,
mira,
but,
esto es lo que tenemos y a
hold on,
correr.
before you move the camera, JJ, kill my camera. Luan, in the program, just click the little eyeball next to your camera so your camera disappears. Let's get a
A
picture.
little
of this.
eyeball.
Yeah, there's a little eyeball.
Dice que van a eliminar las cámaras para que se vea la movida. Voy a hacer yo lo mismo.
Just get a nice little screenshot.
Wonderful.
Hacer una captura de pantalla de la escena.
For the YouTube thumbnail. All right, you bring yourselves back.
All right, perfect.
That's kind of it, really. I mean,
Yeah.
we can go really in depth into like the technical details that make props sometimes.
If
or the
there are any more
environments, but-
questions that made it through, I mean, I'd love to answer them. I don't know if we've got any more in the chat.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm only allowed to keep you for an hour, and then I gotta let you get back to work.
All right, fair
Dice que se acabó y que tienen que volver al curro.
Then we'll leave you on this.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Corey, Luan, thank you so much for taking the time to do this with us this week. I like these shows. I like the question and answer shows, but I also like the ones where we get to explore process and show how we do things or whatever. I like to try to.
Dice que le mola como los procesos en los que se explica todo, ¿no?
Tune in next week. We've got Todd Pappy on to answer questions about anything Alpha 3.6 related. So there'll be a thread that goes up on Spectrum in just a few minutes. I'm literally going to stop this here, go there, and I'll make that thread. And you can start submitting your.
Vale, hay una cosa importante y es el Top Papi, que va a responder cualquier pregunta relacionada con la 3.6 y que está en Spectrum, que podemos hacer las preguntas. Bueno, pues ahí tratarán de responder las preguntas. Ya sabéis cómo va, las más votadas se responderán y pues, luego le echaré un vistazo al enlace a ver qué preguntas hay, porque seguramente algo se quiera preguntar.
Questions for Todd Pappy for next week's show. Anything, you go to the roadmap, you look at 3.6, anything 3.6 related is on the table. As well as anything 3.5 related. I mean, the live game or 3.6, whatever you want. It's one of those broad kind of open shows. So yeah, so that'll be next week. So tune in for that. Corey, Luan, I already thanked you again. I'm going to do it one more time. Thank you again so much. I'll let you go.
Thanks for having us.
us, guys. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
For Star Citizen Live, I'm Jared Huckabee, and we'll see you next week, everybody.
Laters.
Bueno, pues ahí se ha acabado la movida. Vamos a ver. Lo del super ya lo puedo quitar. A ver un segundito, que quiero buscar aquí una cosa. Vamos a ver. Pim pam, pim pam. No sé dónde estaba. Encuentro. Ujú. Aquí la encontré. Bueno, pues esta es la escena del crimen. La paso ahora, que la podéis encontrar en Twitter, que a veces pongo alguna cosilla curiosa. Ahí tenéis la escena del crimen que hay en uno de los outposts. Ahí está la escena. Ahí os dejo la enlace, si la queréis ver con calma y con más detalle. Y nada, chicos, mil gracias por apoyarme. Espero que os haya gustado. Saludos a todos, saludos Pino, saludos Chiso, RV, Harlock, Chizimini, perdón. Taroyami, Gian, Hiro, Matilous. Gracias a todos, chicos. Nos vemos estos días. Hasta luego.